Hey, yo, bitch. Hey, pulling out wristbands, looking like a hitman, but a nigga tryna hit a lit man. Took her to the bathroom, fucking through the zip man, left her leg shaking like the crib dance. Who that at the front door? Think that that's a crib man.
Yo, what is up, you guys? It's your boy Avexys, and today I'm gonna give you guys a nice guide on how to choose the best controller settings for yourself, and you'll also be able to see what I play on, and I'll explain each and every setting one by one. Alright, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. So first off, I play on the Classic Alt control scheme with the DEFAULTERNATE remapping. This basically makes Classic Alt feel like default, has the same button layout as default would, and in response, this control scheme makes the default feel a lot more responsive. You'll notice yourself being able to grab covers from a little bit longer than you would on default in a consistent pace, and that's really like the most reason. That's the only reason people really use it, honestly. Walls just feel easier to hit when you play on Defaulternate. Now the little downsides to this is that you might often find yourself not able to time your shot after you immediately bounce. Like sometimes it'll seem like your shot doesn't come out. You just have to honestly perfect the new shot timing that's taken to use Defaulternate. And then on top of that, since your bounce is going to be on press instead of release, which is, okay, so default is on release. Classic Alt is on press, like your bounce. So since you're remapping it to Defaulternate to default, and your roadie run is on the same button, sometimes when you want to roadie run your covers, you will grab the wall instead of roadie running. So the best game, in my opinion, is Classic Alt, but it does have a learning curve of learning how to wall bounce. Sometimes you'll notice yourself getting stuck, so I'll make a video on how to bounce on Classic Alt down the line, and other little tips and stuff so you could grab walls instead of roadie run. Well, when you want to roadie run and stuff, or I mean vice versa. So you can roadie run when you want to grab walls. So that's really it for the first control scheme. Tournament, I just know that most players play on it when they have when they want to have full joystick control but don't want to play claw or paddles, and you end up bouncing with LB on that control scheme, and some players like it. So that's all just a preference at that point. Alright, so next you have your look sensitivity. This is just simply no LTing, no aiming at all. You're just looking around. Now the sweet spot I found is around the 28 to 26 mark. 30 might be a little too fast. Under 25 might be a little too slow. 26 is the perfect spot for me because it really makes me very precise, and I already have good enough movement where I'm not really affected too much by what sense I play on. 30 might be a little bit hard to control, especially with the game being faster too. You know, you don't really need to play on it anymore as you did with the previous tuning, because this movement was so slow, so you have to kind of abuse your camera a bit in order to feel faster and get those nice movements out that you like. So next you have your target sensitivity. I like to keep mine as pretty close to the same as my look sensitivity, so it doesn't feel too much different. 26 also feels to be it's a sweet spot for this for me, and I recommend that to anybody that has very good control of their mechanics already, so your accuracy won't take too much of a downfall. Now 25, I always have my zoom sense lower than my look and target because it's usually for precision weapons and my pistol. You're usually zooming in with the long shot, M-bar, or a pistol, you feel me? So having it lower will just help you track people better, you feel me? So it's real simple, real simple. Next is your aim acceleration. Now this is sort of just I think of it sort of like a response curve a little bit, and it just makes it where when you turn, you don't immediately go to the max sensitivity. So when I turn all the way to the right, it doesn't immediately go to, it won't immediately go to 30 if I lower it, and the more you lower it, it start off slower and then build up. That's what acceleration is, Inner dead zone, this is good if you have any type of controller like stick drift. I'll show the image on the screen right now to further explain what a dead zone is. So it's the tiny area inside of your controller, in the middle of your joystick, where your input is not registered. So this will help you, if your screen does this a little bit, you want to raise it one by one, so your screen is just not moving. And this only affects your right stick, by the way. Most shooter games that we play already have a big enough movement dead zone, so your character will most likely never be walking on his own. At that point, you need to get yourself a new controller. Next is your outer dead zone. I don't know why people touch this and make it so high. It really doesn't make any sense. All you're doing is kind of damaging your ability to track, and you're giving yourself less range of motion. The more range of motion you have, the better control you'll have. You feel me? So, your outer, it's literally just, instead of being at the inside part, it's the outer part. So, your entire registry will be like more tighter inside of your controller, and you'll reach your max sensitivity faster. So like here, I'll show you. So right here, I'm pulling it all to the right, off rip, all the way to the right, and if I put this all the way to 10, it's gonna move it like that before I even get there. It's moving like that at literally like halfway. So yeah, that's just the difference of that. So I keep mine at 0 so I can have full tracking abilities, full tracking control. One might feel a little bit better for you guys that need a little bit less. You don't pull your sticks like always to the right or left. So that's that for the dead zone. Now next, vibration, that's purely preference. I play mine off. I just don't like feeling the shots while I'm shooting and stuff. Toggle aim, all this stuff right here. These 4 settings right here are just, or 5 settings are literally preference. Omni off. Now this is also another one that's just preference for you guys, because sometimes like in a competitive setting, people would say that they'd rather play with Omni on, so they could like roll out a spawn in the right direction. If you play on classic Omni on might be like better for you, but it's like really a myth that people say that you'll roll more if you play on Omni on, and I don't really believe in that. So that's just another one that's just preference. Next you have analog movement and cover. Now this, it just makes you like where you can like use each stick sort of. You like roll it. It's kind of hard to explain. Just you could play with that off. That's one that doesn't really affect so much of your gameplay anyways. I have everything else on default. Quick taps. All notice is that with this, like instead of holding down your A button or sorry, whatever button it is for you to tap back up, you have to just tap it quickly. It's just your button challenges, you know. So like your chainsaw, you tap it quickly. When you're down, you tap it quickly. Stop sticks all aim. No reason to be using this unless you want to literally just use your left stick to aim too. And then single stick is another big like change of movement. I'll put a side by side so you guys can see the difference of playing on single stick and not being on single stick. We'll do the same bounce. So starting right here at the top, I'm gonna just do like a left-right combination. It's gonna be the same exact button pattern I'm doing both on single stick and not on single stick, so you can see the difference of it. So as you can tell with single stick, all it's doing is that when you press your A button, your screen is not going back to the center of your screen. So what this does is makes it a little bit easier to control your camera when you're bouncing. But you do have 2 little cons that come with that. Your screen will auto recenter, and it does actually become a little harder to aim your up A's and back A's, or your up A's and reaction shots, because you have to perfectly place them, and you don't get any like screen assist in that case. The bigger L that you guys will take though when playing single stick is that your shot will like your screen will reset a little bit. So if you're holding your shot and just walking like this, trying to walk somebody, after a few seconds, it's gonna go right back to the middle just like that. Right? And that can make it hard for you to walk people, but it's still not too bad. Also, if you move your left stick too much, you don't use the right stick at all, then you use that as a camera as well. So as long as you stand your right stick too, then it'll never turn into a camera. What you have to do, you have to play way more so for tracking when you're playing on single stick, so you can really control like any type of camera interference from happening from either your left or right stick. Right, next, just game settings. Don't play with your kill cams on. I just have it on just because every now and then I just want to see like what movement looks like on other people's screen. Guys are gonna play the kill cam on, you just have to understand that it comes with a lot of bugs. Like there's so many things that happen. Like sometimes you'll see a weapon on the ground that's not really there. There's so many like just glitches, man. Like I can't even start to name them. The train on silent glitches and stuff. So I recommend you guys play without kill cam. Automatic reload sometimes a little buggy and you won't really like really reload, but I still play with it on just because it does help at times. Aim assist on. You want to keep aim assist on just so you don't you're not a disadvantage. Disable yank. You want to have this on to have it disabled, and this just makes it where you get rid of that little situation where somebody's like down next to you and you want to go for a revive, and instead of reviving them, you just yank. So make sure you have that on to turn it off. Versus X-ray, this is like your TACCOM without TACCOM. As you can see, my teammates right here. You want to keep that on. Versus pickup. Same thing. You want to keep that on so you can see stuff through walls. You can see the nades and stuff through walls that people plant. Button prompts, yeah, tutorial hints, whatever. all these things you can put on. For your omen, you want to put that on immersive. The simple omen currently is bugged. It's a little bit overtuned, and I know a lot of you guys feel like you're getting bricked if you play the simple tuning on, and you're actually not even as hurt as you would think most of the time. It's just that like when you take a little bit of damage on simple omen, it like shows up that you're full red, and that's just not the case. So immersive is a lot more accurate, and I recommend you guys to use it. Damage numbers, yes sir, but that's like escaping horde. Don't need that really. All these is like, you know, oh, that's, well, your hit markers. You want your hit markers. You want your down kill notifications. I don't play good iron, but you know you want the most information on your team so you know what's going on. And these are just preference over here. And then after, if you could play on 120 frame rate, 100% play on 120 frame rate. I play on the 92 FOV. This is another one that's preference because I play on a 27-inch monitor and it's pretty big. Like I used to play on 95, my 24-inch, but since my screen is bigger now, I feel like I don't really want that big of a field of view. I might end up increasing over time as I get used to this monitor though. That's completely preference. Doesn't really change too much. It just might make your sense feel a little faster because you have more screen to work with. Next thing, you got gore on, mature content on, permanently filter off. Other things that are preference, you know. And then none of this stuff in here really matters. This is all. The securities are literally the same options as your controller settings. Like single stick is in here, button tap challenges is in here. You know, these are your same things really. I know some people play with colorblind mode on, but it doesn't really do anything but change, you know, your menu color. So that really doesn't affect your gameplay at all. That doesn't affect your gameplay at all. So yeah, that is basically it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to speed through these controller settings a little quick. If you have any more questions, either pull up to my stream or comment below and ask me whatever it is, and I'll try to answer it and give you guys an accurate description on an accurate answer. So that's basically it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe for your boy. Follow me on Twitter _Avexys, and also I am going to be doing Metafy classes. So if you guys want to like learn from me in the one-on-one session for like an hour at a time, you guys can book like little appointments with me, and I'll pull up. You can also book like a 1v1 with me as well, or like you could play ranked with me when I stream or something like that, or play ranked with me when I'm just chilling. So you guys could definitely check that out. I'll leave the link in the description for that, and I'll also open up the dates as well, so you guys can start booking times for that. So that's it, you guys, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.